Tad Holloway is the Pro Timberstone. He's really the only guy I ever recommend up in Boise. He'd be the one I'd go see for lessons. Timberstone.
We'll call the meeting to order. Sorry, gents. Tiffany, please take the roll.
Councilwoman Garvey.
Present.
Councilman Brennan.
Present.
Councilman Bundy.
Here.
Councilman Green.
Present.
Mayor Sykes.
Present. Let the record reflect we do have a quorum for Wednesday, September 20th, 2023 at 11 a.m. TJ!
How we doing?
Good about you?
Good.
First off, I want to say thanks for coming in at 11:05, or I'm sure you're at probably 10:15, but thank you. Big thing is I want you to know, through the heart of hearts, nobody up here wants you to go anywhere. We want you to be here. We want you to be here for the foreseeable future. You do phenomenal work, so we want you to know that, okay? So here moving forward, it's one of those things where we just got to be. This isn't a. Well, this one action item is about you, but the whole thing as a whole isn't about you. It's just about fiscally responsible, doing the, trying to find a balance of this budget, or the city budget. So I want you to know that it's not about you, even though today's new business is, but for the general consensus of everything. But I want you to know we love you, we value you, so I don't want you to think that we don't, okay?
Okay.
So, all right, here moving forward, we'll go down to new business action. Sorry, I got my glasses on. Action item, deliberation decision of the golf course management agreement extension. Were you got the one that was sent over? Okay, are you good with it?
Yeah.
Okay, council, do I entertain a motion to get, well, here's the thing. Sometimes in the infinite wisdom of Councilman Bundy's verbiage is sometimes government works slow so we can get it right. So hopefully this extension gets us to where we can get everything.
I mean, we're doing the extension, but like,
Correct.
We could sign a new agreement tomorrow morning.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So, do I entertain a motion to, for the,
Mayor,
Councilman Brennan?
can I ask a couple questions?
Absolutely.
First? Paul, questions for you. The last thing that I saw really was that there were some errors in TJ's request for the extension, and I think maybe you and him worked together. Could you just help me?
I just sent him an email why.
Okay. Yeah.
It's no big deal at all, but a lot of time when you see in contracts, whereas, and there's like 2 pages of whereases, technically whereas doesn't mean anything. It's just saying, here's the background, is what that is. And so, just in one of the iterations of the agreement, everything that was below now, therefore, the parties agree as follows, was taken out. And I understood there was something in there that they didn't like, and I honestly never put any, the words were irrelevant to me. Like, I was like, that's fine, take those out. It had no legal meaning. As far as, basically, the only thing the agreement was supposed to say after now, therefore, is, TJ, if you keep doing the job, we're gonna keep paying you. The same way we have been this whole time. And that's it. So everything, by taking out whatever is below the whereas, I'm like, well, technically there's no agreement now, because we haven't agreed to anything. All we're doing is saying we acknowledge what's up here, and then there's nothing below it. So you gotta add something below it. And it could be one line, which I think it is, and that's enough. And you can incorporate everything above the recitals into the agreement, but technically you have to have something where I do A and you pay me B, somewhere in there.
Okay. All right. And then, in worst case scenario, we're not able to find a agreement to move forward with outside of the extension. Does this talk about like proration of anything?
No, it's a 3-month agreement where we keep paying him to do the job. But what isn't there anymore is, I mean, I suppose it's a temporary agreement, but it's an at-will agreement at that point.
Sure.
Technically. But what, to TJ's comment, is if you guys come to an agreement tomorrow, what that new agreement will say is any and all agreements rendered prior hereto are rendered null and void. So we just, there was an awful lot of back and forth on this temporary agreement, and I'm like, it really doesn't matter. It's just to say, you want to know the answer? I'm gone next week. I'm going to Minneapolis. And so if you guys come to something, I can't type it up before September 30th. that's why I wanted the temporary, something had to be there to say what happens on September 30th. And I certainly understand from TJ's standpoint going, am I supposed to pack up everything and be gone if it comes to September 30th? It's like, no, you need something just to say, yeah, you know, in the interim of while we're negotiating all this stuff, something, I mean, yes, you keep getting paid and you keep doing the job, that's all. Sure.
And TJ, you have a, forget the proper terminology, but a bonus option under the contract for for 1 year, right? For 1 year's of performance.
Yeah, January 1 to December 31.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to like worst
Which
case.
I'm at the tail end of this year. Is that what you're,
Yeah.
right?
So your sorry, our contract is running October through September, right? But your bonus contract, our bonus option is January through December. So this really won't affect that at all then. If there was a worst case scenario, we have to prorate that.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess it would be prorated in that event if it was anything that's inconsistent with our budget.
Okay.
However he's being paid now is how he'll be paid on October 1, October 20, you know. It's the same, we're just renewing that portion.
Okay.
The only thing I wanted to make sure was clear to everybody, and I realize it caused consternation, is the addendum, the first addendum, and the addendum of the addendum of the addendum going all the way back to 2014. That's just over. It's too confusing.
Right.
Right now, it's just it's almost like a month-to-month tenancy in a way,
Okay.
where you keep living there and I'll keep paying the rent, or
Okay.
kind of thing.
Would this need any terminology to support like a proration of what I'm talking about, or is it pretty clear that that 3 months of an extension is 1/4 of his overall
Yeah, I think that,
bonus, a possibility?
I think his bonus,
Councilman Green.
I think his bonus runs through December 31st, because it's January through December. So this going to December 31st, there would be no proration because his bonus goes to December 31st anyway.
As I'm asking.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it's gonna fall off anyways, though, because it's gonna be too cold.
Right.
Usually, it's about Thanksgiving, that the amount of money that you're talking between, unless we have El Nino times 500, the amount of money that you're talking between Thanksgiving Day and the end of the year in greens fees, I mean, if we did a grand in greens fees, maybe,
Okay.
during that 35-day stretch, you know, and then how that would relate to a bonus dollar, that really, I don't think that would even be worth arguing about, because that'd be the only thing. At this point in time, nobody's gonna buy a membership, unless it's a monthly, which we're probably talking a few between now and the end of this month. If somebody's gonna buy a membership, they're gonna wait until after October 1st, which I wanted to bring up today, because rates are supposed to kick in October 1. But as far as the greens fee portion of the bonus, you're talking about a very small number once we hit about Thanksgiving Day.
Okay. If everybody's good with it, I'm fine. I just wanted to ask the questions to make sure.
Mayor,
Councilwoman Garvey.
can we suspend Robert's Rules of Order?
Sure. Let the record reflect that we'll suspend Robert's Rules of Order for action item deliberation decision of golf course management agreement extension.
Quick question, Paul. So on the extension, it starts August 8th. Should we start it September 30th?
I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
Somebody
it
changed
says,
the dates on me?
it says August 8th on here, on the one we got anyway. Here. I just am questioning that date.
I didn't write that.
That might have been the date of the prior city council meeting.
I don't know, I just think it needs to.
We had a new one.
Because we have a contract until September 30th.
I missed that.
Okay, it's all right.
I didn't see it at all.
Okay, so somebody
So I didn't
wrote
write that.
this. Okay, somebody that needs to be changed. That was
It
it.
starts,
I bet you that was the date of the city council meeting.
That was, yeah, that was. It just needs to be changed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good catch.
That was it.
All right.
Still through December 31st.
Council, Tiffany, what do you want to do?
My intention is to walk out of this room, change the dates, and get signatures so you can
Perfect.
sign, if it's approved today.
Good.
Just so everyone knows.
Councilman Green?
Mayor, I will go ahead and make a motion to approve the golf course management agreement extension with the amended date of today's date through December 31st.
Not today's date.
Or what's the?
September 30th.
September 30th. Yes. Through December 31st.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion?
I can only mention one other thing. That was that was also something that legally wasn't relevant, so I kept my mouth shut about it. But there's always this worry that he has an agreement, his agreement that is in full force and effect goes till September 30th, whatever. If we had done this on August 8th, it never would have changed the outcome of the September 30th. It just, that the agreement is in full force and effect, and this does not supplant that. It's just saying, I'm out of town, and so if we don't finish it, something's got to happen before I get back into town. So there was never anything that was supposed to render invalid the prior agreement.
Right.
So,
Well, it didn't have that language in there regardless. I mean, otherwise it would have, yeah.
If I were going to cancel the old agreement, I'd have to say that in the new one.
Yes, correct.
It didn't say that.
Yeah.
All right, so there's been a motion and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Green? Aye. Councilman Bundy?
Aye.
Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Councilman Garvey?
Aye.
All right. All right. All right, Councilman Brennan?
Make a motion to enter executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74-2061A, B, and F.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to go into executive session, 74-206 A, B, and F. And it's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Garvey?
Aye.
Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Councilman Buddy? Aye. Councilman Green?
Aye.
All right, we're in the executive session.